Welcome back, everybody. Let's go ahead and go through this installation process and see how this actually works. So I can't actually increase the screen size here. Hopefully you can see everything. I can see from quite some distance away, so hopefully you can as well. So let's go ahead and begin the installation process. So first of all, we have an option for a live. We don't care about the live at the moment. I've shown you how to use the live before. We're just going to select the install. Press enter, and it's going to go through. Okay, the mouse pointer integration and all that is not functional at the moment. The release key is right control, as you can see, but when so I'm in the text mode only now, so I can't really choose that. But once the installation is complete, the release key for the mouse will be the right control. Okay, so select your language here. I'm gonna go ahead and select English, and I'm gonna select UK. Select appropriately for yourselves, whatever you wish. These are only my preferences. You can select any other that are offered here. Feel free to do so. Okay, so the installation process is going through. Shouldn't take to the well, this is not the installation process, this is the loading and all the other things. The installation will begin shortly once we have configured all the parameters. Okay, so going through, come on, network successful, host name. What shall be the host name? I don't know. Let's call this one. My Fedora is called Cup of Tea. Let's call this one Cup of Coffee. You can change this later if you wish. Domain name, don't really care about that, just go through it. A root password. Now, please, I've noticed that a lot of people forget their root passwords when they type them in here. Type in the root password. I'm just gonna go ahead and type in test for the sake of, because this is a virtual machine and I'm just doing the installation and for testing purposes. So I just gonna type in test, but you can type in whatever you want. Please be sure to remember this. Press continue. Again, retype the password to confirm it. Doesn't give me any warnings. Even though the password is way too short, we can of course change this later, but for the time being, please be sure to remember it. Okay, so guided, use entire disk, select the disk. There's only one that we have assigned to this virtual machine. All files in one partition, recommended for new users, sure, why not. Finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Write changes to disk, yes. And there we go, so no big deal. And now the installation has commenced. This is going to take a while. You might get asked a few questions along the way, no big deal. Usually there will be a default option which you can select, and that's going to be good enough. If there is anything of significance, I will take some screenshots and I will inform you of the changes that I have chosen. But for the time being, I'm going to pause the tutorial here. I'm not going to make another one. I'm just going to pause it here and then continue within this one when the installation is complete, so you don't have to go through the entire so you don't have to sit here for like 10-15 minutes or more waiting for this thing to complete. Okay, so the installation is going on. This is the first question that I was asked. Use a network mirror. Yes. HTTP proxy information. I don't really need it. I'm not going through a proxy server. So just select continue and scanning the mirror. So this is just gonna go forward and retrieve some files, etc. Anyway, we're gonna continue on until the next prompt. I'm gonna pause until the next prompt. Okay, so the next question is the grub bootloader on a hard disk. Sure, why not? Just go ahead and install it and select this device. This is the only one that you have on the VirtualBox, so it's fine. Go ahead and select it, and now the procedure will just continue. Okay, so it just asked me whether there was just a question to actually go ahead and reboot the machine and finish up the installation. All you need to do is click on continue. Okay, so now we are prompted here with this screen after the reboot. So just go ahead and type in root enter. And now type in the password, enter. And there you go. Now the machine will boot shortly. Might take a bit of time, but I mean, it's a first boot, so be considerate and kind. And that would be it. That is the Kali VirtualBox machine. Next up, what we shall do next is install guest editions in order to make it functional. Anyway, we're going to do that in the follow-up tutorial as a separate part, but until then, I bid you all farewell.